One small step for film. One giant leap for Interfellas.
We waited, 2 weeks now to make sure that people had enough time to go see Spider-Man before dropping our video. We actually saw it on the West Coast, even though we're from Jersey. We saw it in San Diego because the night prior, we went to the Chinese theater and saw The Odyssey in 70 mil, which was
life-changing.
I was gonna say, had to have been, honestly, regardless of the movie, top 5 movie theater experience ever.
Easy.
To see it in that theater, just the experience to see a 70 mil film, you could actually like tell the film, you know what I mean? Like you saw the film grain, and it just, the clarity difference between seeing it in 70 mil versus just an IMAX or a standard format.
Yep. And if you haven't seen our Odyssey review yet, go check it out.
Yeah. We also got to hold an Oscar on this trip, which was absolutely awesome.
Yeah. Paramount Studio Tour, awesome.
Yep.
Warner Brothers was cool as well.
Yep. We saw the Batmobile. We saw a bunch of stuff, scripts. I mean, the Central Perk.
Yeah.
And shout out James. James was one of our tour guides.
Paramount. If you're going on a tour and you're touring Paramount, request James.
What an amazing experience going to the West Coast and seeing, you know, all the locations that they film at and seeing Spider-Man. So let's get into our thoughts.
If you don't want any spoilers, go watch the movie first, but we're going to be talking.
Yeah, not extremely, but we're going to talk about the movie. I mean, we waited 2 weeks. I think that's plenty of time to give people enough time to see it.
Yep.
Off the bat, what was your initial thoughts?
I thought it was really good. I mean, I want to say it like met my expectation.
Yeah.
No Way Home was so good and so, I don't want to say outlandish, but it was because of the multiverse that everybody wanted a grounded Spider-Man movie, and that's what we got.
Yeah,
right? We got an emotional. And so I was very satisfied. However, a lot of people online are saying this is like the best Spider-Man film ever.
Yeah.
I think that's crazy.
I don't agree.
But
it was great. It was great. And I think what I loved most about this movie is the fact that they tied into like his, again, I said it in the other video about Spider-Man 2. I love when they make it like him relatable. Like they talk about the struggle of Peter having to live on his own. And now, he's got it even worse than the other two because no one knows who he is anymore. No one.
He's got nobody.
Nobody. So he's dealing with it alone. And I thought it was so awesome to finally show like him open up and realize like he shouldn't have to go through it alone. I was expecting it to not be as good as it was, just because I think of like how could you get better than No Way Home?
Well, that's the problem.
Because I was worried that they were going to really go in a completely different direction, and they kind of did a great job, and I love the fact that they tied in the Punisher.
We love John Bernthal. He's in everything. I mean, what a summer for him and Tom Holland.
Yeah.
I mean, all the pictures of, you know.
They brought the Odyssey home, and then they
got John Bernthal bald with a beard, and then he went reverse. Yeah, he got a fade with no beard.
I saw that meme. They drew the guy and they showed the hair.
No, but we love the Punisher. Awesome series, and I thought they did a great job of keeping the Punisher like himself, but also throwing in the comedic relief of Spider-Man. And John Bernthal, he kind of did the same thing in the second Accountant movie, where in the first Accountant movie, he was like badass brother, and then the second one, there was more comedic relief, and it's like the same great dynamic.
Yeah, and I think what they did well, which is what I was extremely worried about, and I said it in our Spider-Man review, is that they will incorporate too many other heroes and stray away from a Spider-Man driven movie, because that's what we want now. We don't want the multiverse stuff. We want a Spider-Man story. And I think they did a great job. As much as they did bring in other heroes and other characters, they did it
appropriately.
Yes, they didn't take over the story. What'd you think of Jean Grey?
I thought that was a really cool introduction. Again, we'll get into this part, but we didn't watch the trailer.
Thank God.
Thank God. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
But it's cool because obviously Marvel is heading in a direction where they're going to bring mutants into the MCU, right? And I think that was cool because I forget, was it like when they were looking up her file and then they showed her name, Jean Grey, and the whole theater gasped. You're like, okay, X-Men are coming at some point. So that was cool because, my only critique though, and I think we kind of agreed, was that in the end, she wasn't a villain.
No.
But she did so much like evil stuff that it was kind of like odd that Spider-Man is just like forgiving her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's so
like,
tough.
She takes over MJ's body and launches her off the fucking building, and he has to save her. Yeah. And then he meets her, he's like, yeah, we're all good.
But you know what? That's Spider-Man, right?
I know.
He's forgiving, he's understanding, he's what we all aspire to be, I think. Yeah. Because as much as he's going through his hardship, you see him struggle, but you don't see him take it out on other people.
Except in No Way Home when he was beating the shit out of William Dafoe until the Spider-Man stepped in.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's funny because I'm one to just confess and be completely honest. When the name popped up and everyone guessed, I'm like, I don't know who that is, because I'm not in the Marvel world. It's just not. I love the movies, but I'm not devoted.
Yeah.
So like it took me a while to realize, oh, she's from like the X-Men franchise. Yeah. But it's funny because in that chase scene when they finally introduce the Punisher, and then like the tank is going through the streets, and then she started like, I guess
warping.
Yeah, I was gonna say changeling, but that's not really right. But when she started warping or like taking control of the people, I remember vividly you going like this in the theater, looking at me because I predicted it would be the Chameleon.
Yeah,
I thought it was gonna be the Chameleon, and it wasn't. And they did a great job with her storyline too. I really liked the VMAX tie-in.
Yes,
with her, like, because she was struggling, she just saw VMAX and like. We didn't understand why or what that was. Yeah. And then you realize it was just the room that she
they did and I feel like they've actually done a good job with all of Spider-Man's villains in building their character arc with the Tom Holland franchise. They make the villains kind of relatable, even with Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio, and then obviously Vulture with Michael Keaton. But yeah, to bring her sister in, and I saw something that the actress is younger than her.
Oh, wow.
Than
just looks
Jean
wise,
Grey, but she's 6 foot. Yeah, like whatever. No, but great introduction, and we didn't even mention Mark Ruffalo yet as Hulk. Yeah, I thought that was awesome to bring him back and to see the Hulk back finally.
I was gonna say my personal gripe with the way that is making him like, what was it, an Endgame when he's like happy and he's stuck as the Hulk? I'm like, come on.
Well, he's like, I want to see
Hulk. The Hulk is angry. Yeah, he smashes shit, loses temper. That's what the Hulk is and what it should be. And they brought him back to do, because he has that arm thing that
I forget the name of it. I know Spider-Man invented the inhibitor, but he had like the gadget that like controls it.
Yep.
Yeah, that was cool, and I guess we could kind of bring it up now. Thank God we didn't watch the trailer.
Yeah, so in hindsight, I remember we got back to the hotel after seeing the movie, and we're like, you know what? Let's watch the trailer and see what would it have been like if we were to have watched that trailer. And they showed the Punisher, they showed the Hulk, they showed the Scorpion, they showed Scorpion, they showed the movie.
They showed the entire movie. They showed those ninja people. They showed Spider-Man doing the spinning with the web. That scene was sick.
Yeah.
Imagine seeing that.
Like the web blossom?
Yeah, dude, that was so cool. And but again, this is why we preach, especially with superhero movies, to not watch these things because it takes away from the experience. Like when Frank Castle showed up, we both audibly were like, let's go.
Yeah, because I had no clue. I didn't see a teaser. I didn't see a promotional. No. I saw nothing. Yes, we blocked Spider-Man. We blocked Spider-Man Day.
I'll screenshot and put it up of all the...
Do it. Send it to me. I'll add it in the video.
I think if I had seen the trailer and then saw the movie, I think I would deduct a whole star on Letterboxd for it. I'm being serious.
Because it wouldn't have...
Because then the whole movie, I'd be waiting for Punisher to show up. I'd be waiting for Hulk to show up. I'd be waiting...
You'd be waiting for that scene when the ninja guys, like when they jumped and faced each other.
Thank God I didn't see that, because it made the experience that much better.
And I just find it funny how they pick and choose what they want to reveal. Like, obviously you want to keep the villain hidden, but like to show the Scorpion, that should have been hidden too, because you'd be like, oh, this is a movie about Scorpion, and really it wasn't. It had nothing to do with him.
Yeah, I think they had to show the Scorpion because they teased him in Homecoming, and every fan has been waiting. Oh, Scorpion.
And they still, Scorpion. I mean, he was great, but like they didn't do him justice. He should have been in it a little more.
Yes, I agree, because I think Scorpion's a cool character, but I do like how Marvel, he can't be the solo bad.
No.
He's not big.
He's got to be one of two or three.
Yes.
Yeah. One of my favorite parts about just the overarching storyline too, obviously I mentioned the struggle. I thought it was great how they showed almost like how different his struggle is, in sense of where like he's getting too much power. Like a Toby Spider-Man lost his control of his powers and like became a normal person again. He's like the exact other extreme, where he's like his eyes turn all black. You know, he's like gaining organic webs and he can't use the other ones.
Yeah, we had the combo. We thought it was going like the way the animated series showed, where he was going to become the mutated spider.
Yup, and get like more arms.
That's what I thought was going to happen. But I like the balance they did, because, you know, you stray that line of becoming too
over the top.
Yes, so I really like how they...
And then when he woke up in the cocoon of like, I don't know, like the web cocoon or whatever.
And then even him reassuring himself, he's like, wow, webs are coming at me. That's all right. Peter too had them, so he'll figure it out.
Yeah, the tie-in.
Also, great job with the choreography. Like the fighting sequences being practical and then bringing Jackie Chan's team in to direct that.
Yeah.
Those sequences were awesome.
Again, I think what's great about this whole string of movies that have been releasing in recent time, like specifically this year, is like the immersiveness.
Yeah.
Like I felt like this movie immersed you into the fight scenes with the way that they, I don't even know how they did the cameras, but the way that they brought you into the scene, obviously with the choreography, it just made it was different. It wasn't like you were watching. It was like you were, you know, there.
A lot of people compared it to like the video games almost, the way his movements were, the way he was using the web to like sling himself back into it. And we pointed out how many, I don't know if it was on purpose, the tie-ins to the other movies. Like when Spider-Man's chasing the tank and he's double webbing and he's like sliding through, that's like straight out of Spider-Man 3 when he's chasing Sam.
And he's like learning how to swing again with the organic webs. And it's funny because I said web blossom, that was like the move in the video game. You hit both analog sticks in and he does that huge spin. And it was so cool. And even, you know, all the people are doing the edits now and they showed how they incorporated all the comic book covers. That was really awesome. They did a great job. But I will say, and again, not taking away from it, because I wound up actually rating this 4 stars because I thought it was better than Far From Home. I enjoyed it more than Homecoming. I didn't like it more than
No Way.
Or maybe I give it a 3.5 and No Way Home was 4. But I think that they did a great job, but they played it safe.
Played it safe, and we both said predictable.
Extremely. Like what were you gonna say?
No, I would say without even knowing, because we didn't watch a trailer, when he goes into the damage control building and Jean Grey's everybody's evacuated and she's just up there and you see the holes in the building, they showed Mark Ruffalo earlier in the movie. We knew the Hulk was there.
Yeah.
Right? And then you knew like, you know, Spider-Man wasn't going to die, so he's going to survive that 50 cal bullet. But then I think there was one more part.
I was going to say what I knew hands down and what the whole theater gasped about.
With MJ.
MJ.
Oh, yeah.
He makes out with her and she's like, Peter?
Everybody's
like, this is
clapping.
not.
Yeah,
I'm like, she doesn't remember all this. And then right away I was like, yeah. Oh, everybody is shouting out that one guy.
Dude,
in the
he
New
did
York.
great.
He was amazing.
He really did.
Yeah.
I thought he was like a big time actor.
Yeah, so did I. And then everyone's like, I don't know who this guy is, but he's going to be rich.
Yeah, he deserves it.
But yeah, when that MJ scene happened, I knew it wasn't. I knew it was, you know, she was taken over by, again, we didn't know at the time it was Jean, but I knew that was the case. And everybody gasped, and I'm like,
come on, let's put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah, like, did you really think it would happen that easily?
Yeah.
Although, my man did the handshake. Took one fucking handshake. That's why they say the Bros Morals. They said one handshake and Peter? He remembered the whole thing.
Yeah. I thought the way they ended the movie with Ned and Peter is I thought they were going to do it with MJ and Peter. I didn't think he would tell her this quickly. I know it happened later in the movie.
Yeah,
but
well, he didn't, right?
Well,
she found the
note. I should say
yes,
when she read the note.
Yeah.
I saw a funny meme. Someone like put like when Peter's out fighting and MJ's reading a note and it's like the chef from Ratatouille going,
yeah. Like panicking.
Yeah. I really liked, and I know I mentioned earlier, Punisher and Spider-Man's dynamic, but again, I like when they do like the audience is thinking, man, did I miss something? But the Staten Island incident, when it's an off-screen thing that occurred, and they keep bringing it up. Yeah. It's like, oh, don't talk about Staten Island again. It's just funny. It's like the same exact vibe as like Black Widow and Hawkeye. They kept bringing up Budapest in the movie, and every fan's like, what is that? I like it's like an unsaid off film, like inside.
Yeah, like Easter egg or whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, I thought personally I would have liked a little bit more of Ned and MJ in this. I thought that maybe halfway or more than a little halfway in the film that they would kind of get an understanding or at least have him like know a little more. I wasn't, it almost felt like a setup film. And that's where my only gripe was why I didn't like really jump it, because I'm like, they're preparing us for, because again, I won't spoil this because some people might not have stayed for the post-credit. Yeah. Like it was a somewhat, great moments, but still felt like a setup film for an insane film later on.
We saw the glimpses, obviously, with Spider-Man battling, like, you know, Peter battling, you know, turning into arachnid or whatever.
Yep.
But we're still, like you said, that I feel like we're that one step away from him becoming Spider-Man. Like, he's still transitioning from like, you know, the previous era of always being under the wing of someone, whether that be Tony, whether that be the two, you know, Andrew and Toby in the prior film. This was like his first like himself film, but he still, you know, relied on Mark Ruffalo. He still relied on the Punisher. I think this next Spider-Man film, I know he'll probably appear in the 2 Avengers movies, but I think we're finally going to get like a Spider-Man film.
Okay. That's interesting. Because this is his 3rd or 4th.
This is his 4th film.
Yeah. So it took him 4 to get there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the most heartwarming for me was when it was really funny too, when he gets out of the hospital and he joins the parade. And obviously, you know, the Punisher is there like, yeah, pretending. It happened in Spider-Man 3 where like Toby sees, you know, they love me. And like, I think it just reassures all of the hard work, the sleepless nights, like fighting crime, keeping the city safe. Like Tom got to experience that in his storyline too now, where, you know, he saw the little kids and he did like the, you know, hand signal or whatever, the web, you know, spin at them and it just felt like those moments feel so heartwarming because you see the whole crowd rallying behind Spider-Man and Tom finally got to like witness that.
Yeah, no, I very well done. And for like, I think it was 2 hours, 25 minutes. I thought it was paced very well.
Yeah.
Like
there wasn't a moment where I was like bored ever.
And I think that's, I mean, I don't know what No Way Home was. I think it might've been right around there, but like, I think one of the longer Spider-Man movies and
it has to be. Yeah.
Great montage in the beginning, like emotional. Watching your friends for 4 years too. I was surprised about that.
Yeah. I didn't think it was going to be that much of a jump.
He watched them all through college. And I mean,
and then he saw her with the
other guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we've been there. Yeah. That hurts.
Yeah.
Oh, brutal.
I thought, and I'm glad they didn't go that route, but I like how they teased it again. You know, Ned Leeds in the comics plays a version of the Hobgoblin. I thought he was going to be the one, you know, to be the warper somehow because, you know, they tease it by him tracking Spider-Man and having the app. So I'm like, all right, Ned's, not that he's the bad guy, but he's involved somehow. But I like how they like teased that, but they didn't make it that.
I don't know if it's true or it's a theory. I don't know how you would say it, but do you feel like Jean kept Spider-Man alive? Because you see all those things where they're like, she kept him alive until he was able to heal. Or do you think he just like healed on his own? Because I don't remember, I'd have to watch it a second time to really see. I think she like exhales when she like releases him and then he wakes up.
I truly don't know. My thought process was he can survive this bullet, even though it was a 50 caliber bullet.
Yeah.
Because of his transition with the, like, you know, becoming more, you know, he's getting stronger.
Right. So, that's what I thought. So like his powers.
That's what I'm going to go with.
Yeah.
Even though
we'll have to watch it again to see.
Maybe he'll come out and yes, and it's confirmed.
Because I saw a bunch of fans saying that, like she, you know, the whole time she was using her powers to keep him alive, which is possible. I just don't remember.
Makes you think. I guess my question to you, I know he'll be in the 2 Avengers film. Are you going to stick with your boy? Who do you want to see be the next Spider-Man villain?
Well, so here's the hard part, right? Because part of me would say I want to still see the Chameleon, but
now it's
this storyline was almost what I would have kind of had it be, right? Although I felt like it wasn't plot twisty enough. Like I could still tell that someone was. I didn't like the fact that you could tell Jean took over. Yeah, like I would have, in terms of the Chameleon idea, you wouldn't know who he is, and that would be such a like a mind fuck movie.
Yeah.
But now that that's kind of like, if I want to scrap that off the list, give me the Hobgoblin.
Yeah,
give me the Hobgoblin.
That's what I want.
Because I don't want a Green Goblin because it will never hold weight to Defoe.
I like the Hobgoblin take with another villain. And I know they had him in Homecoming, but I would have liked a more comic accurate Shocker where he gets like the suit.
Okay,
I feel like a Shocker and Hobgoblin because both of their storylines are more like, you know, they're more personal gain, like robbing stuff. And I like the route they're going with this Spider-Man. How even though Jean Grey was, you know, she's powerful, at the end of the day, it was still a New York. We didn't talk about it. The insurance you got to have to live in New York in the MCU is crazy. Why the hell would you live there?
Somebody said, would you move out of New York? I'm like, in a second. My house got destroyed 17 times. I'm over this.
Someone's like, hey, the rent's $200 a month. I'm living there until I die.
Yeah, well, that's true too. Right, it'd be so cheap. No, I was actually going to interject and say, I'd actually prefer Wilson Fisk.
Yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio. Yeah. I've been calling
because
for that.
Right, you're tying in the Punisher, you're tying in Daredevil.
I think it's gonna happen.
I feel like having him higher
them.
Yeah. That'd be a cool storyline.
Consigliere. Bada bing, bada boom, betty boom.
Okay, so for my consigliere cut, I think what would have really made an interesting story for me would be like right before the third act starts. I think that when Jean took control of MJ's mind, show glimpses as she's digging through her memory of Peter.
Yeah, I thought for sure that was going to happen.
And then I would have really liked if in a evil way reveal like their memories of Spider-Man to them. And I don't want to say kill one of them, but like make it to where it's like a dire situation. And maybe the clue for him to save them is like a tie-in to the Lego Death Star. That like only those two would know the specific moment. Where like I remember, I don't know why in my head, I guess because I have the Lego Death Star, they show the Emperor with like the shocking, like the lightning hands. It'd be so cool to, again, have them remember as he's like saving them or something, and them using their memories to essentially win over Jean.
I like that.
Yeah.
If I had to change one thing, it's tough because we know Jean Grey is part of X-Men, but I would have liked her to be villainous throughout the end of the movie. And then maybe show a post-credit scene of like maybe Spider-Man visiting her in a facility.
Okay.
Again, I mentioned it earlier in the episode. Like, I don't know, she did too many, like she froze New York City. And then like, I know like she was being held against her will by damage control, but you don't just become like good after that.
Yeah.
So I would have liked her to remain the villain. And then, you know, Spider-Man obviously be victorious, but have her be held captive. And then maybe, and again, I didn't watch, I can't even say it, but maybe have either Peter or Professor X show up in the facility and then start her hero arc.
Okay, like rehab her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just like got away and he's okay with it. It was a little bizarre where I feel like she should have probably paid for her.
And that's where it's frustrating knowing, I mean, we knew when you casted Tom Holland that this guy's going to be Spider-Man for 20 years.
Yeah.
Right? They're going to make nine of these films. Like he's already been in 4 solo films. I think he was in Infinity War, Civil War, Endgame. He's got 7 Spider-Man films to his belt already.
That's crazy.
But like I said, the frustrating part though is that it was a setup again.
And I guess props to them because they did leave me wanting more.
Yeah.
You know, but at the same time, it's like we waited 5 years for this movie around. I would have liked for it to have just ended a little differently than like set up for the next one.
It definitely brought the hype back, not for just the movie theater experience, but even for the MCU. Like Doomsday, I didn't watch the trailer, I'm not going to, but I'm hyped for it now.
And they revived what it felt like to go back into theaters and see a great Marvel movie.
Well, didn't they say that this was like the biggest this weekend, not only for Spider-Man, in conjunction with Odyssey. It was
the entire
the most
industry
profitable movie weekend ever.
I think ever.
Yeah.
It was for the past decade.
Yes.
And then I think with the recent surge in like new Odyssey showings, all that, it is the most profitable week for film ever, which is...
You could thank the Interfellas.
Yeah. Just reading those articles just brings a smile to my face, knowing like to everybody who said that the movie theater experience is dying or is dead, proven wrong.
Yep. And
if you make a great movie, if you build it, they will come. If you make a great fucking movie, people will pay good money and leave their home to go see it.
Yep.
And this was a proven, it's proof at this point.
I mean, this was a summer blockbuster too. Get ready for the holiday season. We got Doomsday coming.
Streaming services with the whole straight to release streaming. This proved that it's worth going to the box office.
Yes, we're back though.
Yeah, movies are back.
If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and check out our other episodes.